Got caught in here, head. Okay. And one thing you can do, or try to do, is squirt your head to the outside, get your head out. And then you got to crawl in to get your head up. You got to bring your knees forward and get your hips under you to get your head up. Okay? So if I'm caught in here and the guy's sprawled on me, he's got me pinned under here a little bit. If I can, I try to squirt my head out to the side, get it out, and get my knees under, crawl up in so I can get my head up. Okay? But you don't want to have your head in there to begin with. You know, you're in there and you can't get your head to the outside. It's really caught inside. Then what you can do is from inside here, come inside and lift them up off it. Okay? Now get your head through and just take and lift them up off it, and we'll do it. Exactly now. I'll hold off on it while you pull my thrust there. Okay? Another thing you definitely can do though is if this man's stretching back with his legs, change off to a single. Okay, change to a single. Try to work around to the side and hook the leg properly and go after the far ankle. You know, so many times last night, you and others could have hooked the leg and got the far ankle, and even if a guy has a whizzer in, he's not going to be able to be effective with that whizzer. I can body him and take him off his base. Okay? So we're going to get in on a double. We're going to get in on a double, head caught under a bit, okay? We're going to squirt our head outside. We're going to get it out. We're going to drive up forward with our knees and get our head up. Okay? Cool. And then look to dump with the head. Dump them off to the side. Then we're going to get head inside here, and we're going to let the guy stretch way back. Stretching way back. I change off to a single. I come on around to the side, hook the leg properly. Go for a far ankle. And I try to take him off his base. Crowd him, reach across and grab the far knee and pull it in. Get him off his base, where his whizzer will be even less effective if he has a whizzer in. Okay? Okay, and as a third one, you caught under here. I'm going to have you fall in, get your head up. Okay, try to get your hips under, in other words, and take one hand and bring it inside and lift them off. Okay, I'm going to take them off and look, catch and sketch can. In this case, be maybe ride position, maybe forearm, maybe that else. Now let's say they can't miss a leg. They've got to get one leg or the other. Okay, and they're shooting a double up. They'll drop those hips down and they'll go right up the middle of the pipe going for the double, and their head will end up in between. Okay? And when the guy sprawls, they'll immediately squirt their head to the outside. They'll come up head outside. Because their objective is to go low and hard, straight at them. Their head is right up the middle of the pipe. They've got to get a hold of at least one leg. And then eventually, as soon as they get in there, they try to squirt a head out and up. And again, I tell you though, ideally, I don't think that's what you should do. Ideally, I don't think you should want to get your head caught under here in the middle. But I have seen some pretty fine wrestlers do exactly this, but they have the ability to get their head out and up. Some of you guys might not have, okay? So you don't want to tend to get in this sort of position. If you're in it, you want to see if you can't get your head from inside out, and if you're not in a good leverage position. I'm in a poor leverage position right now. I'm too overextended. My weight's going forward, I'm going to fall on my face. So I want to get my hips under me by crawling. When my hips come under me, I can get my head up. Once my head is up, I'm in a much better leverage position to complete the taker. Okay? Again, if I can crawl forward with my head in between and get my head up. Now what I can do, I'm in a position to come inside with one hand I'm inside with one hand or the other, and then just get it. I'll load them, and then wrestle them from here. Okay? And if, one second, I'll come back to you. And if ever, Latin, if ever I feel like it's time to change off to a single, I'll lock on that single, try to draw it in a little bit, post my elbow for balance so I don't lose my own balance, and try to come up in here and hook that leg and go for far ankle. Anytime you're in on a single and the other man's kneeling, and you can get around to the side and hook his leg and get far ankle, you have it. You are going to get the points. Listen.
When do you grab your ankles when you done?
Okay. This is what I call Stone Age counter to leg drop. When a guy starts reaching over doing this stuff, okay, it will nullify my effort that he does that. So if he comes over and starts grabbing for my feet, see, that'll nullify my effort if he gets a hold of one. What I don't want to do is have that happen. If I sense that he's going to do that, I stretch, okay, and then immediately, quickly start to try to complete. Because if he gets a hold of one, he'll both stop me and maybe put me in a position where he's going to get a spin beyond. So you can't let people reach over your back and grab a hold of something. If they do, they're liable to stop the takedown. They're even liable to get a go behind, okay? A lot of that happens because the guy that went under stopped when he got there. When you go under, you try to come right up so that the other man can't start doing things like that, which I call Stone Age counter to leg drop. If you just came out of a cave somewhere and a guy attacked you there, you'd probably reach over and grab a hold of his foot. That'd be the natural thing to do. I don't call that good defensive technique, even though it may work. I don't see that as anything great to do. But you're going to face kids that do it, okay? And you just have to realize it may happen when you're underneath, so get ready to stretch your leg, okay? All right? Goes up, but then if you allow the guy to handle you pretty much, as the guy really worked you over physically. If you watch that film, you're going to see that guy really handled you. And I don't say that that kid's a poor wrestler. He's not a bad wrestler, but you're a better wrestler than you showed last night. You're more capable than that, from what I've seen thus far this year. You don't want to let people handle you. You're never going to win a bout against a good kid if you let him beat you. You can't let him beat you. You got to want it so bad he can't win. And I'm going to tell you right now, you young guys and old guys, if you really want to be an achiever in this sport, you've got to beat the better guys that you're going to face. If everybody you beat is a Humpty Dump wrestler, I don't care what the hell your record is, you're not that good a wrestler. You're not that fine a wrestler. You haven't achieved that much. You've got to look for the guys that are supposed to be pretty good and defeat them. And the only way you're going to defeat guys that are pretty good is by going after them. They're not going to beat themselves. They won't beat themselves. If they would beat themselves, they're not that good. And we're assuming they're good. So they're kids that you're going to have to take apart. The better the guy, the more aggressive you have to be. The better the guy, the more constant you have to be in your effort and your attitude towards wanting to win. So you're capable of better. That was my big disappointment last night in yourself. Not so much that you lost, but the way that you lost. If you watch that film, you should be a better competitor than you showed last night. You have been in the past. All right. Roll to switch. There are a few guys on our team that could have done this in elimination and in competition. If I'm doing a near side roll, okay, I do a near side roll and I come down in here and the guy rolls with it. Switch is my next move. I'm going right into it. That's my next move. Okay. If I go for a near roll and the guy happens to wrap his other arm around my waist, and I can't even get him over. I get down in here, okay? I may get him off balance. I may get him to his hip. But I can't step. He won't let me step. What I can do is forget the near roll and go after a switch. Anytime a man has his arm or arms wrapped around your waist, and he doesn't have control of your arm, either arm, switch is possible. If I'm doing a far roll, okay? I hit a far roll, and I get the guy over, but I can't sit up the hip hoist. I might come in here and go after a switch. So there are going to be moments in competition where you can do a switch off a near roll. Okay? So here's near roll and far roll. You do it off near roll and far roll. Here's near roll. And near roll done properly, I go to my shoulder, I step across, and then I get knee nearest the head up, and I don't let him re-roll. But if, on the other hand, when I do the roll, go down, I start stepping, and he's capable enough that he does re-roll me, my next move is going in for that switch. Come on up. Now I'm going after that, hipping, and coming in behind. Okay? If I try to wing him, I raise up and I come down, I wing him, but I can't get him over. Okay? I can't step over. He's blocking me off. Okay? What I can do here is forget about the near roll and go after my next move. It's always next move, next move, next move. Don't stay with anyone too long. And I'll tell you another little thing you can do on near roll, those of you that use it. I don't know, I think it might have been Garrett last night who was trying to near roll, and he wasn't able to get across the guy, but he may have gotten the guy a little bit off balance. Okay, somebody on our team had the guy down in his hip. Let's say the guy's blocking you. What you do is you run your feet away and then come back. You run your feet away as if you're going to leave him, and then you come back with your step over. And the second time, when you come, you step high enough to get across. You make them think that you're not going to do the step over, and then come back with the step over. All right, far roll. I do far roll. I get him off me, but I'm having trouble sitting up, going on a switch. If you get him off balance, and he's got his arm wrapped around your body, you might be able to change off to a switch. I want near roll done properly. Knee nearest the head up on the other side. I want near roll where he re-rolls you, and you immediately go after a switch. I want near roll attempt where you knock him down on his hip, and you change off to a switch on this side. Wing him, and then change off to a switch with your other arm, where he's on his hip. And then I want far roll to a switch. Possibility. Far roll to a switch. Because we've done it before. If I'm in on a double and a guy's standing up like this, I can either simply back heel and put him down pretty good, but keep my own head up so he can't scoot, and then get ready to go in after a half. Okay? Or what I can do when I'm in deep like this is stand, take him up in the air, get the crotch first, then the half. And here the head goes down. Go for the pin. So you've got back heel, you've got body lift. Third one, I'm in on a double and he sprawls. Okay? I step up and I dump him off. But I don't go near his feet. I don't come here. I stay away from his feet. And then I go for forearm or half. If he's up on his hand, it's forearm. If he's on his elbow, it's forearm or half. If he's down low, forearm's tough to get, half. And the reason why you don't go for a half when he's got his hand posted is he's liable to slip it. He's liable to do a little duck under action, and you end up going over. Okay? And the reason why you don't go near his feet is he'll elevate it, perhaps. Okay, now as I dump him, I'm liable to get here, and he's liable to elevate in his foot. He gets me. You'd be surprised how many guys can elevate well. Okay, so the first one, back lift. The second one, body lift. The third one, dump with the head. And then go after forearm or head. And when you dump, you try to get shoulder up chest. Shoulder up chest so you can't reach over your back and lock onto and stalemate. I try to get shoulder up chest as I go after the forearm or the half. Okay? Fourth one, simple loose out. I'm in here, he's small. It's really tough to dump. You can't dump him. Okay? If I'm having trouble, I just release and pull out from under. And then catch his arm so he can't switch it. Okay? A simple loose out. If I happen on my double to go in and stand, and he's trying to stretch his leg back, I look to do a cut. I come from here to here, pulling on that knee and buckle this way. If he's stretching this leg way back when I'm trying to do it, and I can't get that, that's when I back heel on this side and take him backwards to a knee with a hand block, straight to his leg. Okay? So the first one, back heel. The second one, body lift. The third one, dump, shoulder up chest, half for forearm. The fourth one, you're straining to do that, and you do loose out. The fifth one, you stand up with it and do the jab cut. And the sixth one, he's stretching his leg back versus your attempted jab cut. I can't get him there, he's stretching that way back. I do a far back, not a near back heel like that on the mat. I do a far back heel. And take him right straight to his rear end so he can't turn and drill me with the whizzer. If I drive him on an angle, he'll drill me with the whizzer right onto my own head. Let's go. His back, and he steps in behind that leg to block me, but he doesn't use this hand. I can just hop and hop and hop and turn and put him on his head. I'll turn and drill and put him on his head. So he's put his foot behind this leg, so I can't step backwards with my left foot. And he puts his hand behind this leg so that I can't hop backwards on this foot. Well, if I can't do either of those two things and he belts me with his head, I'm going to my rear end. So you've got to understand the principle. If I'm here and he's stretching his leg back and I want to block this leg from going backwards, I step behind it. And that one can't go backwards. But this one still can. And he could turn and drill me on my nose. So I've got to prevent that by putting this hand right there behind his leg, just for a moment, and then hit him with my head. As you put your hand there and bump him with your head, pull him down. Let's go, up on your feet. I watched several of you and you didn't do it right. Let's go. Come on. Was in under him. Rose was in under the other guy, and the guy just hit him with a pancake. He did this. And he did it a lot with strength, more than with any sort of real setup or subtlety. It was just pure strength. Now, if you're worried about a pancake, grab the guy's wrist. That can't pancake. Unless I figure a way to break the grip on my wrist, and then maybe later come back. Okay, but if you're worried about a pancake, you can control it. Can control it. Okay? Now, if the guy does pancake, you feel yourself going, you've got to quickly bring that through. And that's not going to be enough, because if I stay with my grip, I'll freeze him here. I'll let my hips die, and I'll catch him here and freeze him here. He's in trouble. So what he has to do is he's going over to hit a bridge action. When he hits that bridge action, see, it lifts me off his chest enough that he can follow through and come out. So if I feel myself being pancaked, okay, he's coming down in here and pancaking, I have to take that hand and come through and immediately get into bridge action. Start going with the bridge action and come. And when I turn, I don't turn to my stomach and then get up. You always turn toward your knees so that you're already up and ready to wrestle someone. See, some of you guys turn to your stomachs on movements, and then you have to get to your knees. Turn to your knees. Save yourself the time. And we've had two guys in our past history that in the finals of national tournaments, one at high school level, one at college level, got pancaked right at the outset of a bout. Both of them knew the counter. Both of them worked the counter. Both of them won their bouts. And probably each of them would have lost their bouts had they gotten panned. In the sense of gotten caught by the pan. They did get panned, but they didn't get caught. So we're going to make sure that we know how to counter pan. First of all, get the wrist. You don't want to get pinned. You can even bring your forearm across in front. See? I can't get up into his armpit there to pancake. All right? He's blocked me off. I can't pancake. All right? But if he feels himself going, is to bring that arm for all he's worth. All he's worth, and a little bridge action. Okay? We're going to do that. All right, we're going to somebody else here now. Let's see who else we're going to. All right, Harper had a standing reverse headlock on the man, and I think didn't act with it. I don't know if he had much time for it. He threw him like that after that. Pardon?
I never got my hands locked.
Never get your hands locked? Okay. We're going to go through the possibilities there, though, to reinforce things. What they did to us last night is they got reverse headlock on us and then dragged us down to the mat, which you can do. There's nothing wrong with that. As they got reverse headlock on us, and then they pulled us down to the mat, and then worked from here. Okay? Well, let's do the things you can do from up. If I get a reverse headlock on, keeping my own legs back, not like Rubus was looking to do the other night, have his legs in here where the guy's going to attack him, you keep your own legs back. Okay? One thing I can do is sweep in on the arm. If he presses out, I release, I do elbow pop, I step and I do duck, and I go right after the RC on the way down. Okay? Our second one in the series is I get the reverse headlock, keep my own legs back. If he raises up, all I do is drop in. I just let my knees go under him. I do a lift over, fireman's carry style, go after the RC. This time I've got ideal RC. Third one, I've got the standing reverse headlock. He's raising up that little bit. Instead of dropping under and doing it fireman's carry style, I just go after that far leg, and I drive through. I just drive on an angle, grabbing for his leg anywhere from the knee on down. Great. Fourth thing, of course, you could do a standing silence. Okay, I could take this grip, get the upper arm, take this leg and swing it in, and then just go through. Just reach in here and go after. And go after a standing silence. It can be done, but that one's difficult. The others are not so difficult. The elbow pop duck, not so tough to do. A lot of guys do it. The assistant coach from North Bergen, finals of the states, elbow pop duck, on the standing reverse headlock, he decked the guy in the first period. Did the same move against our guy in a dual meet. Decked our guy with it. So it's a workable item. There was a young fellow from Milburn High that went to Lehigh. He was a fine wrestler at Milburn and I believe also at Lehigh. That was his primary takedown. He would somehow get that doggone reverse headlock on guys, and he'd use elbow pop duck and put him in the crate. So it's workable. You also will find that the fireman's carry and the diagonal drive-through are workable. There was a fellow from Oklahoma, national champ, black kid, about 8 years ago, wrestling down at Princeton, that was his primary takedown. He'd get that doggone reverse headlock on, and he'd do the fireman's carry off it, and he'd put guys away. And I told you, just for anecdotes to help you remember these things and to remind you of their value, there was a kid from North Hunterdon High School, not too many years ago, 5 years ago, who in his freshman year, I believe, went to the States, got beaten opening round. Second year, States, got beaten the opening round. Third year, the States, got beaten the opening round by a guy who, in his fourth year, and he was supposed to be very good each of these years, but he just kept getting beaten the opening round. There are a lot of tough kids down there. There's some kids that aren't so tough or not such good wrestlers. There's quite a few of those down here, too. But he was evidently meeting tough guys and whatever, and he was getting beat. His fourth year, he reaches the finals against the guy that beat him in the opening round his junior year. And that young fella reached the finals the year before. And so now they're going to meet in the finals, and he gets, boy from North Hunterdon, gets a standing reverse headlock on, does the diagonal drive-through against a quality wrestler, seconds and held him in it until almost the end of the first period before he could get the pin. But he did get the pin off. Okay? So you've got your standing reverse headlock series. You've also got it where you get the standing reverse headlock and you can drag them down. And once you get them down, you can press in on this arm. If he presses out, you can come up under here, grab chin, throw him on his back. Okay? And on that fireman's carry from standing, by the way, you can have the chin. What you can't do with the chin is you can't twist it. You can't twist his neck like that with the chin grip. That's illegal. Okay? So you can do a little turn action up this. The second one down here, of course, is you can circle, get the knee, grab the chin if you wish, pick up, dump to the far shoulder, grab. A third one, off the reverse headlock down here, is you can circle, instead of knee, ankle. Pull it slightly out to the side, not hard to the side, that's illegal. Slightly, proper leg hook, body is near shoulder. Get your points. Fourth one, you circle, you're coming after that knee or foot, and do behind the arm. Fifth one, you can crawl back, he crawls way in, you put your knee alongside, pancake. Sixth one, reverse headlock, silence. Take this hand, grab his upper arm, knee goes under because it's a log roll type movement. Get the far arm, upper arms, you've got them both. Don't come at right angles. Stay slightly around toward the head. There'll be a tighter grip on his throat. Okay? There are other possibilities, but 6 is enough right now. So up on our feet, we're going to do the standing reverse headlock series. It's a lighter, in my judgment. So you best know your switch counters. And I'm going to tell you guys again, first of all, they're not supposed to get up. God was getting up on you all the time. Yeah. If I want to stop stand-ups, I chop. Mostly near chop. Mostly near chop. Boot them in the rear end a little bit and chop them hard. Really crunch them. Don't let them up. You can go after a far chop. It's a change of pace. It's not the best. Okay? You can come up onto the guy, onto the chop on the other side. So you've got chops will help you keep a man down. Then you've got ankle runs. Okay? If you don't want the guy up, go down and get an ankle, pick up on it and drive a little bit. Okay? If he steps up on his inside foot, step up, okay, and he pivots weight onto this foot before I can get it up, that's when I circle and do a heel pick. Put him down on his rear end again and go Navy ride. Okay? But if I get to that ankle and lift it off the mat, he can't shift weight onto that foot and I'll keep him down. If I want to keep him down, I can go after near ankle. And bump. Pick it up and bump him, don't let him up. Okay? And then some of you guys are going to be good at doing side crunches. Okay? Where you come in here and crunch him to the side. Okay? Now I'm not so familiar with the technique, although I probably have it written up after having given it some deep thought in the summertime, and I can take a look at my own writings to find out more about side crunch. Okay? The thing I worry about on side crunch is that when I crunch this man to the side, when I come in here and crunch him, he'll do high leg over. His hips to the other side. I have seen that happen against our own man in a tournament, and it almost cost him the finals of the regions, almost. Okay? But there are kids that do that side crunch action real well and break the man down. But the basics, the old basics on keeping the man down, chop, okay, far ankle, near ankle, bumping, and then going after a far chop, which is a rig. Coming up in here and going after a far chop to keep the guy down. Okay? We're going to do those 4 things. There are going to be days, maybe before matches, where I'll say to you, practice your starts on top and your starts on bottom. I'll give you 5 minutes to go over your starts on top, your starts on bottom. When I'm talking starts on top, these are some of the things. Okay? One of the other starts on top is to go can't and popularly form. Spiral technique. Okay. Come in here and spin them. Okay. You've got various starts that you can do. Well, we're talking now stop and stand-ups. All right? If the guy is doing a backup type stand-up, a bear type stand-up, okay, what I can do is fight him, and I put a crate on him. Once his face gets in his lane, crate on him. If he's doing an inside leg stand-up, but he doesn't get his head up enough, I can put a crate on him. If he's doing an outside leg stand-up, but doesn't get his head up enough, I can move up onto him and get a cradle on him. So cradles can stop stand-ups. Now let's mention our rule on cradles. If he does backup type stand-up, that'll put his rear end higher than his head. RC type. Not time to go up in here or over in here and fall off, because that's what happens 80% of the time. If he steps up inside leg or outside leg and his rear end is lower than his head, it's side cradle time. Not RC time. Because if I go for RC and he raises his head up, I'm going to lose my balance. Okay? So we set a rule. Okay? Rear end higher than head, RC. Rear end lower than head, side cradle. Basic side cradle. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to chop. We're going to fly chop. And I'm going to, I'm holding that lightly. You just crack your fold and use some muscle. Arm and bow. Okay? Near. Don't put your head here and catch an elbow on the face. Don't put your head there and catch an elbow on the face. Lose your teeth. Okay? He backs up into a stand-up. I fight it, come to the front. Not from the side, it's hard to get it on. Back up. It's hard to get it on from here. Come to the front. It's easy to go on. My head's not here. On an RC, my head's down in here. Under his ribs a little. Inside leg. Outside leg. Move on to it. Okay? And then if I were going to complete this, my knee goes between his feet, and I do roll. Don't roll down his leg. All right, stop stand-ups, and we'll come back and show you how to get him back to the mat. If he does get up, the ideal is this. And I don't want him to be down, by the way, if he's up. I'll lose my balance if he moves. And he has leverage because he has altitude. So I want to get up with him. Okay? And I want to, if I can, get reach around, wrist grip, and arm. The reason why this is good is he can't switch me. So if I have body lock, he might switch me. All right, now last night I believe Sean stepped in and heel blocked. Took the guy backwards. The guy could have done a switch on it. You don't heel block and dump him backwards with a body lock. You're too switchable. Okay, I don't forward trip him with this. I'm too switchable. Okay, I might leg hook him if I have real good leg hook ability and trip him down to the mat inside, because the leg hook makes it a little tougher for him to go for a switch. But my basic is I come up under him, I get my hips under him, up in the air and cut him to the side. Okay? And I don't do a Banu. Banu, the guy's feet were under him, and Banu was kind of coming in and sitting, dragging the guy backwards, pulling the guy down backwards, and almost trapping the guy's lower leg. I was afraid you're going to break the guy's leg and end his career. Okay? Our rule is this. If his feet are under him, he's going forward. If his feet are to the front, he's going backward. We accommodate. And Chris Hines, I believe, for one, and I think it was a second one, turned the guy the wrong way with this grip. Turned him this way, and the guy reversed our guy. I don't know if it was Chris that got reversed, but turned him the wrong way. You turn him towards the arm that you're controlling. Okay? So we're going to get this grip, which we consider ideal. I'm not going to hang off to the side and try to get his leg to fold to the side. I'm not going to do side trips with which people are going to try on you and injure you. That's why you got to get that leg out to the front. You got to keep that leg to the front when a man is behind you to protect your own leg. What I'm going to do is step in front, possibly put a pinch on. If I'm afraid he'll step through the thing. If he's an experienced wrestler, he'll step through it. And then I'm going to put my own hand out so I don't fall on my hip, and I'm going to trip him down. Okay, I'm just going to give him a little push here and bring him to the mat. Okay? If his feet are to the front, I heel block, bring my other foot up behind his knee as I sit. I just sit, elevate him with that foot, and I come up into a good ride position. So we're going to get our ideal position. And we're going to forward trip, only pinch him with the knee if we think we have to. Hand goes out as we bring him down so I don't lose my own balance. Now, as you guys have a tendency to fall down here, and you think you're going to get back up. Well, another guy is a wrestler. As soon as he hits, he's wrestling, you may not get back up. He'll catch it. So you can't afford to lose your balance in this sport. Then what we're going to do is get the same position, tight. He's got his feet to the front, heel block, sit, rotate him toward the tied up arm, and come up on it. Okay? And Sean, you're going to have to learn to be heavy on the guy. A lot of you guys kneel off to the side. There's nothing stopping him standing up right now. I feel like he's practically out. But if I make him bear weight, if he goes up, it's going to be a little slower. And he's going to get tired a little bit standing because he's got to carry me on his back. And I'll be up there. So you're going to ride heavier. You're going to ride heavier, some of you. It was Navis, I think, that faced the kid that stood up on him, stood up on him, stood up on him. And if you watch the film, you'll find you're kneeling off to the side, no weight on the guy at all. You're going to want to make the guy bear your weight. And if ever you have a guy down on a mat, on his stomach, and you want to be heavier, use your toes to push. In other words, if I just relax my body, I'm only about so heavy. But if I push off my toes that little bit, I'm about twice as heavy. Just pushing off your toes, you make yourself heavier. And the heavier you are to that man, the more he'll tire. The more tiring that takes place in him, the more vulnerable he becomes. He starts to lose his concentration, maybe lose his desire, and that makes him more vulnerable to things you'd like to do to him. So you want to try to tire guys as late as you can. We're going to bring the guy back down from standing with the arm control, and then we'll also do it with a body lock. Okay? We'll take a body lock, and you got to be tight. And if I'm not tight, he could hit a switch very easily. If I'm tight, it's hard for him to hit that nosedive switch. If I'm loose, he could put a whizzer in easily. He could come in here and get a whizzer. If I'm not tight, he could come back and get PB easily. You understand? He could do this and maybe do a hip throw. Okay? So what I want to do is tighten. Whizzer, can't turn. PB, can't turn. Nosedive, won't let it. You stay tight. And then when you're ready, you get your hips down, and then bump underneath, up in the air, and cut it. Now, if you lift a man in this sport, you are responsible for a safe return. You lift them off the mat, you're responsible for a safe return. That's the way the rule book reads. And so you got to be careful bringing them back down. If you slam them, in the opinion of the ref, not in your opinion, in the ref's opinion, you could lose the bout. Guys have lost tournaments on account of slams. Kid from Hunter to Central, I believe, lost the finals of the regionals one year with a slam, and the next year, or maybe the same year, lost the semifinals, I think, of the states on a slam. And he was perhaps the best guy in his weight. All right? Stuff like
lost last year also in the slam divisions.
See? Okay, see, so you got to be careful. You know, doing all these lifts and tosses and whatever, you got to realize that the ref could call you on a slam. Kid you're wrestling could be really hurt or not so really hurt. Strange things happen in these activities, so guard against. All right, so we're gonna counter the stand up once he's up. And by the way, if you have body lock and he sinks his hips, he starts walking out to the front, you can just cut him right there without lift. Just cut him. And makes it tough for him to go for a switch right away. All right, this is Rosa, before I forget. I think, Rosa, if I recall correctly, you were just about to get a double. I think if you watch the film, you're going to see your hand in the air. You're just about to reach for the double, but the guy had double underhook. Okay? Your hand's about here, and you're going to do this. Now, had you done that, his dump is tough. It's tough to do. See, but with my hand out like that, see, he can turn it. So if you'd have gotten a hold of that leg, you might have been able to resist his dump. But he did throw you to your back, kid. He throws me down to my back, and he's got me in bad trouble. Your move is to bridge for all you're worth. Hold that. Your move is to bridge for all you're worth and try to rotate. Try to rotate. If you could have, yours? Yeah. If you could have, upper knees, brought this arm through, if you could have slipped it through, you could do the Schrader. You could come out with a Schrader grip on his upper arm already. Okay? But you don't want to get turned. You don't want to get double under turned because you know now what it hurts. You had your arms really stretched back, you see. So you don't want to get double underhook turn. Knees spread more. Don't have the hands hanging out. Get a hold of something. Okay? Finish your move. Draw him in tight. Finish your move so he can't get you. You get hit. But you were kind of letting things happen last night instead of being aggressive, and the guy tossed you on your back, Ed. He tossed you down, and you were in trouble. You were in trouble. Now, if I can get this hand through, I can, with this hand, hold his upper arm and do straight. Okay? If he happens, well, that, I might be able to bridge and rotate in here. Before he tightens it up and gets my elbows work close together for me to do anything, I might do something like that. I might bridge and rotate into him. Okay? But your reaction should be immediate. If you wait too long, he'll get your arm so far back behind you, and elbow is so close, all you feel is pain, not things you should feel like, how to get out of this and quickly, and you lose your concentration. Okay. This is Sean Noor, and it's also Darmal. And I think I mentioned Darmal up in Randolph. There is such a grip as this. Rear crotch weights against stand-up. But I'm vulnerable to inside switch right here. Okay? You gotta watch out for inside switch. If you're going to use it, you gotta at least get the guy on his tiptoes. So he can't go in for a switch. If I let him flat on his feet, he'll have enough base to go in for a switch and put me on my nose. So if you're coming in rear crotch, you gotta lift him up just that much. Now what you really want to do is get him all the way up, okay? And then do a flying Turk. Step in and get the Turk as he's coming down. There was a, you'll see it in my writings, any that read the writings on riding and pinning. There was a Jap by the name of Fujita, who was a national champ once or twice for one of the Oklahoma schools. And what he used to do as a top man on a ref's whistle, he didn't care if the guy stood up. If the guy stood up, get up. He could unput him and took his grip and took them up in the air and then did a flying Turk. Then he just would put them on their backs. So it'll be in the writings as a Fujita counter to stand-up. Somewhere in the writings it'll be written up as a Fujita counter to stand-up. If you have waist and deep crotch width, deep, you can pick him up and go flying Turk. Now, if he's not leaning forward enough to Turk, then you dump him to the rear. You just dump him to the rear. Okay, but you've got to watch out for switches if you're going to use that. All right, do a Fujita. Do two moves from here to get him back to the mat. Heel block and backwards. Forward trip, possibly with a pinch. And out. Body lock lift. His feet are under him. Body lock and cut if his feet are out to the front. Okay, where you can't lift them. Do the Fujita at the beginning. And also I want you, if you're the guy being lifted, let's get in the habit, as you feel yourself going, entwine. So you can't really get you up. Okay, if you feel yourself going up, don't let him just lift you. Entwine your foot, leg, so that he can't really get you up in the air very high. let's go. The things are going to stand. From here, you've got thigh pry, block, or thigh block, I guess you should call it, and then step off. And he may have a wizard, and you may have to limp arm before he goes down. Once you go down, you're going to be an ankle and waist. So if I've got the leg up in the air here, okay, I can run the pike, press him down, and bring him to the mat, okay? Or I can start that way, and he won't go. I block, clear the foot, bring him forward, waist and ankle. If he has a wizard, if he happens to have a wizard when I'm doing that, right here I have to do limp arm. As he goes, I do limp arm, waist. Okay, don't leave him with the opportunity to put me on my nose with that wizard as we go down. Okay, you also have your hip hug, where you just crunch him, okay? And you also have, if he's leaning way into you, you can waist from the rear and come here, front crotch, and get your hips under and get them up. And those are your basics, okay? And your first one is to run the pike. Your second one is the thigh block, clear. Limp arm if you have to, okay? Limp arm the wizard if you have to. It's in there. The third one is a hip hug. All right? And your fourth one is if he's leaning way over you, you come up in here from the leg, waist, front crotch, hips under, and get him up in here. And bring him down. Okay, basic arch. Now if the leg is not between your legs, but here, draw him in, however, okay? Or draw him in, and then step and get the heel. Or look for the reverse cradle. His head's down, reverse cradle. Okay? Or if he has wrist and he's stretching his leg back, you do back up. Okay? So we'll do these moves from here. We're going to have the leg here. Okay? I'm going to back up to draw his foot in. I do a power trip, waist. You always try to get up and control his hips as he comes to the mat. Or back up, step, and go after the heel. Go after the heel and bump. Or I'm here, his head happens to be down, I'm going after the reverse cradle, watching out for counter ducks. Now watch out, he doesn't do a duck under the heel. Or he's got wrist, overhook, and he's stretching his leg back to the mat. I resist it until I sense the time is right, and do my back cut, which means you just pop with your elbow so your head can clear. The leg is between legs, okay? You can do your basic run the pike. You can start run the pike, thigh block clear. If he's got a little whizzer in there, get ready to limp arm and go to the waist. Hold the ankle. You want waist and ankle when he hits the mat. You can hip hug and just crunch him when he's leaning away. Just crunch him and bring him to the mat. And then, of course, you can, if he's leaning over you, okay, you might be able to crunch him, but if he's leaning over you enough, you might not be able to knock him down. You may have that foot out enough, leaning over you. You can't knock him down that way. So you release from the leg, front crotch, waist, get your hips down. Might be a cradle man. When that rep blows the whistle, take his hand. Get wrist control. I can always let go of it. Okay? But if I've got his wrist, he can't cradle. He cannot cradle. Okay, you gotta learn to get some hand control down on the mat. If you're doing sit-outs, even, you want hand control. You tend to want hand control. If you're doing stand-up, if I'm doing a stand-up, I want hand control. I start with hand control. I can always let go. If I've got hand control and he's coming in and going to get my wrist, I can always let go and change off to a nosedive switch or something. But try to get some hand control when you're bottom man. Okay, don't let the guy do things to you. There's a lot less he can do to you if you control his wrist. So you want to get his wrist at the whistle. Okay? And he said, well, gee, if I grab his wrist, he's liable to grab mine. And as I grab his, he's liable to, I can let go. Okay? Or he grabs, he comes in there like that and grabs, I can hit far roll, elevate him, keep elevating him until I can hip hoist. Okay, if I'm having trouble hip hoisting immediately, I keep trying to elevate until I can do it. Or I just release here and put his half in and slip his half and come out and get him. And speaking of elevators, anytime you feel yourself falling, okay, if the guy's knocking me down backwards, I think about elevating. If I'm on my hip, okay, I'm on my hip like this, and he's going for my arm there, I think about elevating. Anytime you feel yourself falling toward the mat, consider using your feet for the purpose of elevation. If it doesn't bring you anything at that moment, it may put him enough off balance that you'll be able to find something while he's off balance. Okay? So that's a basic. Feel yourself falling, think about elevator. Now when you do elevators, you don't elevate up in a man's groin area. You don't go after his family jewels. Okay? It's too heavy up in there. When you elevate, you lift at the knee. So you get rid of a knee. Even if I'm here. I remember Caprio in a scrimmage or something was sitting here against a guy looking to elevate him. Okay? If ever I can get an instep inside, or it is inside, that's where I want to lift from, that knee. Okay, I don't want to lift up in his groin, I want to lift the knee. And then maybe go double break. And if ever you're caught in a sitting position like this, okay, and you're looking to elevate, if I could tilt his hips a little bit, he'd be easier to dump to the side. So if I can get my foot here and push that knee out, see that tilts his hips, and I elevate him with this foot, and then climb into a double break position. So think elevator whenever you feel yourself falling, and remember that on an elevator, you try to get an instep inside a knee to lift, and you lift in a little arc. You don't lift straight up, you lift in a little arc so that your foot doesn't slide up into his groin. You keep a little outward pressure and follow the path of a little arc. Your foot will stay attached to his knee as you elevate him. And then you go after whatever avails itself after you elevate. Now someday I'll spend a little time on elevators. Someday, a Monday or Wednesday or something, I'll take some time and talk more about elevators, but not today. This is Sean. You're going to learn some more single leg drop completions down in the mat. Now this is everybody. Okay, I'm in on a single. Let's go over our completions down here. Okay, we got one more set up on the feet when you got the leg across in front of you. Completions. I haven't done that. Maybe I'll do that today too. All right, I'm in on a single, and the guy circles to face me. I drive right up into a double. Okay, now maybe I shot a single. I came in here for a single and I spun out a little bit. He comes to face, I go right up in on a double on the other side. Okay? If he sprawls a little bit, but not much, I can maybe step up and block, take him straight backwards. Okay? All right, now you might have to post your hand before you go up there, just for balance purposes. And also, if he sprawls a little bit more than a little bit, post, step up the hook, and then what you're going to do is bring him forward and do limp arm. Forward and limp arm, looking for far ankle, so he can't get a whizzer in. Third one, fourth one actually. If he sprawls and his feet aren't spread, you can dump with the head. Dump to the side. It's a good one because very often very often you'll get the cradle off it. Okay? And one of our kids last night, I think one of our younger kids, had the bottom knee for ideal RC and was looking for ideal RC, but didn't hold the knee tight. And the guy got his knee back under. You can't allow that. You gotta hold that. He tries to get his knee under him, you don't let him. You get your cradle. I forget who that was, but Bergamotto? You get Bergamotto? Maybe. Okay, so number one, I shot in on a single, he comes to face, I drive up in on a double. Number two, I step up the backfield and take him back to Navy. Number three, I step up the same way, but I take him forward and do lip bar. Okay? And I go after ankles so he can't get a good wisdom. Number four, you dump with the head. Because feet kind of narrowed in base, I dump. I'm going after the cradle, even if I can't see it. If he rotates out, I've got Navy, I'm ready to lift, and go after something off the Navy lift. All right, five, I'm in on a single, and he dangles his arm. I change up to a barrel. I take this, do a little high leg over as I pull down on the arm, go to the waist. He has a whizzer in, so my head can't come out easily. I come around toward his feet, so my head will come out easily, and I go after two upper arms. Five, I'm in on the leg. He stretches his leg way back. He starts to. I post for balance, do elbow pop, duck, pop my head out, and then behind. Six, I'm in on a single. He stretches his leg way back. I let my head slip out. I suck the leg back in and go after double. Okay? So the first one, change to double. The second one, back heel, double back. You can simulate it. You don't have to complete it. Just simulate it. So it speeds up the process. The third one, take the forward lip arm counter off the leg. The fourth one, dump with the head. The fifth one, change the barrel. The sixth one, back dump. The seventh one, he stretches his leg back. Let your head come outside, pull the leg back in, deep in, change to a double. The eighth one, he pushes your head way down. He pushes your head way down and it's coming underneath the schwanz. You come out the back door. You bring this knee under you and just go with it. Just keep coming through. And then of course move up and get through his hips. Gotta get control of his hips. Get your point. What's that, 7? 8. See? Let's make it 9. If I'm in on a single and he happens to sprawl to a knee. He happens to go down to a knee. Just a simple basic, rather than some of the more exotic things that we've mentioned from here. I'm going to hook the leg and go after the far ankle. That'll make his whizzer worthless. His body with your head. Take him off his base, and then grab the far knee or shoot your neck strength. Get him off the base. Change the double. Take the knee. Limp on. Dump with head. Change the barrel. Back up. Change the single head out. Rear crotch out the back door. And?
No, it's the regular ankle.
Hook the leg and get far ankle. Let's go, real quick. You're reaching in there and getting far arm. You're making a lot of use of it getting them down and running around the head and getting them over. And it's working pretty well for you. The only thing I'm going to say to you, you got to get more than that, because against real quality guys, you're not going to get forearm probably, and so you got to have other ways to put them over. So in this room, make sure you're working both dummy and live on cradles, tight bars, wrist bar half, wrist back series, all kinds of things. And the other thing I'll think of right now immediately is Chris Hines last night going for forearm from the rear. We never go for forearm from the rear. We'll get winged. Guys do a near roll. Put us on our back. If you're going after forearm, you come around to the side at right angles so that he can't wing. So my knees out there prevent the wing. But if I'm back here reaching across the forearm, it's not going to be very difficult for him to wing me and take me off my base. Okay? So no forearms from the rear. And somebody in our team tried to cradle. One of our little freshmen, I think, tried to cradle from the rear against a sit-out. The guy will do a crawl. He'll do a simple crawl action, and you won't get him. He'll get you. Notice, you don't do cradles versus a sit-out unless you come to the side. As I could come to the side and possibly put him in a cradle. I'm not big on cradle against sit-out anyway, but it can be done from the side, but never from the rear. Now, we'll have guys on our team that'll be wrestling some guy, and the guy that we're wrestling will do this, and we'll think, boy, that guy's good, he knows a cradle. I'm in a sit-out, and he knows a cradle. He knows a counter to sit-out. Well, you've got to know enough about this sport that if a guy does this, he's dumb. It's a sure sign he's not much of a wrestler yet. Okay? And then you can do a crawl move. We're going to do a crawl move. We're going to do a crawl move against a cradle from the rear when we're sitting. Another thing we're going to do. Somebody in our team last night wanted to snap his man back. Wanted to snap him back. And the guy posted. Yeah, he put his hands here. This is Hines who was trying this. You release both hands and you back hook and pancake. And that's the only alternative you have. Or, if you're not too sharp on pancake, that quick pancake, and you want to get him out of the sit-out, and you're starting to worry that you can't do anything, then if you want to get a man out of sit-out, you come to the side, come under his knee. Come to the side, come under his knee, and just lift him out of his sit-out. Just take him out of his sit-out so I can work from some other position. Okay? So if I'm wrestling a guy that's in sit-out, and I don't want him there anymore, for whatever reason, I release, take the knee, and just lift him out of his sit-out. Okay? And if I'm trying to snap him, and he's posted, okay, what I can do is drive up into him a little bit and hope that he resists by posting him more. One more time, release both hands, and come a little bit to the side, and then you're going to go after a pancake. Your head's going to come right here as a pancake. What we call quick pan against a sit-out. Quick pan means you're going to do a little back hook and come across to that far arm. Okay? All right, still arm up. Tight bar and rear crotch grip, not that good. So you had tight bar, and you had the rear crotch grip here, and I don't know exactly what you were trying to do with it. I can't remember. I have to watch the film. That's not the best. I mean, we've shown you a lot of things you can do with tight bar. Some of those things would have been better. Somebody either on our team did it or had it done to them last night or against Randolph, had fish hook and tight bar. Okay? And that's all right. You can get a guy over and get near full. I don't see it as a great way to pitch. If you fish hook, you want to get half Nelson. Okay? You cheat Phil, but half Nelson's the thing you're after. If I've got fish hook on the other wrist, then far arm is the thing I'll be after. I'll be going after that far arm, foothold. And that type one. Now you say, well, I got a near fall out of it. Fine. I'm not saying it's bad to do. I'm just saying it's not the best. Fish hook and tight bar is not the best combination, I don't think. I don't see it as being that frequent that you'll get it. I don't see what it's for. All right, I didn't see this, Greg, but I'm told that you had the guy in a half Nelson and didn't reverse the Nelson. You ended up going over. Okay? I tell you guys before every match, I tell you guys that you got to be alert for rotations. In other words, when I'm driving into him here to put this shoulder down, eventually he's going to go with that. I got to get head up. And the purpose of head up is to let all that sand and gravel that's inside my system shift to my butt so that I don't go over. If I have my head down, the odds are he's not going to bring me over. Okay? Because I didn't shift that gravel. When you got the half Nelson and you're driving into the guy, as he feels his shoulder going down, you know he's going to rotate the other way. You head up, let your hips sag, relax your body, and don't go over. If he comes back in, as I start to ease him down here, the pressure, I change to the head. He goes out again, I reverse the head. Okay? Okay, so you got to know enough to do that. The other thing I noticed last night, at least two of our younger kids were trying to pin a guy with their leg entangled with the other guy's leg. Okay, they weren't doing turf. It wasn't turf. They were in a half Nelson or far arm. And the guy was turning in, and they were picking up on the arm and pressing with the half Nelson, and eventually the guy rotated out, and our guy went under. Our guy went under. We're not supposed to have our legs entangled with that guy when we're pinning. We keep our legs free. I tell you before every match, and I told you here at practice enough times, to the degree you keep your hands and your legs free from the other guy, it is to that degree that you will have success in this sport. The more you keep your hands free that they can do things. The more you keep your legs free that they can do things, and that things can't be done to you by the other guy, it is to that degree you're going to have success in this sport. So always get away from a man's legs. You've got him over on his back, and you're going after far arm, or you're going after half Nelson, and you've got reverse Nelson, and you've got the head hug, whatever you've got, you don't let him entangle your legs. He's trying to, you don't let him. You keep away from him. You don't let him. Stay around toward the front more. You stay away from his legs. Okay? And you got to learn to be heavy on a guy. When you pin it or whatever. Anytime you're on top. All right, we're going to get a half Nelson. Half Nelson crunch. And we're going to start to press the shoulder down. He rotates out. We reverse the Nelson. He comes back in for whatever reason. Half Nelson. He rotates out. We reverse the Nelson, head up. Okay? If you've got two upper arms, you pull on this arm if he's rotating in toward you. I pick up on this arm. If he's rotating out, I pick up on the other arm. He rotates back in, I pick up. I got to keep my head in here so he doesn't slip an arm body. He wants to do that. Okay? So I got to keep my head in here. I got to keep a good fingertip grip. Keep my head in. Now, if the guy's that powerful that he can bridge and rotate out, okay, he's starting to rotate out. I'm having trouble with him. I sit out around his head, and I come back in on the other side. Don't try to go behind him on the side you're on. You'll end up attached to his hips, and you'll go over. In other words, if I'm like this, and he starts rotating out, and I try to get behind him this way, I'll end up going over. Go around his head, and come in on the other side. Okay, you may end up in a double leg drop position as you go around, but at least you'll be able to get control of him or give him a neutral at best. All right, so it's half Nelson, reverse Nelson. It's two upper arms. Rotates in, pull up on the near arm. Rotates out, pull up on the further arm. Rotates in, pull up on the near arm. Rotates out and is going to bring you over, go around his head and come in on the other side. We're doing those things. Then the man's going to sit out and cradle from the rear. We're doing a crawl. Going to our shoulder, not our elbow. With a cross. What else are we doing? Okay, you're doing a pancake. Okay, from here, he posts where you can't get him. You snap. Okay, you drive up into him one more time, hoping he'll post when you release the pressure. Release and pancake. Right. Pancake comes only part way. It comes in for a double. I say, but didn't get all the way. Oh boy. Oh boy. Or I can drag. If you don't get to the legs, you could dump you to your back, or you could drag. You don't want those kinds of things to happen. You don't learn to ride heavy. You learn to ride heavy. You don't ride heavy. You don't have enough weight on your hand. And you really don't have a ride, in my opinion. I saw you, I think, at one point in time, okay, wrestling a guy, and you did this. What the hell was that? I swear, I saw you come up like this. You had a hand up by his far shoulder, another hand up around his chin. You gotta learn it. And the simplest, I'm gonna keep telling you, the simplest ride there is reach around wrist grip. I can always let go of the thing. I've always let go of the thing. But there isn't much he can do. As long as I've got this wrist, there's not much he can do. Now he can roll his hand free. But if I take it and pull his hand tight to his body, he can't do that either. Now if I hold him loose, I'm not holding him tight, he could pivot through. He could pivot through right now and come up behind me. Okay? He could do that. Well, you know, I don't have to hold him loose. Okay? I can hold him snug. And he's not going to do that. So, you know, the guy's really tied up. If he stands up, I've got the arm on his side, I bring him back down to the mat. So reach around wrist grip is simple. The other thing I'm going to keep mentioning to you guys is hook the leg. Hook the leg. Maybe on Monday I'll spend some time with leg hook right as to the different things you can do once you get a hook. You know, the guy's not going anywhere. I've got this hook, and I can put my knee in front of his knee to block him from crawling. He can't really crawl. Okay? I grab ankle, tighten the thing up even more. Can't hold it forever. Okay? There are pin grips in here. It's not just strictly a ride. We'll show you that stuff on Monday. But leg hook is a basic that you young fellows ought to learn. And reach around wrist grip is a basic that you young fellows ought to learn. Tight waist is a basic you ought to learn. You know, get a tight waist on. All I do is put my knee against his lower leg, pull him to the side. I don't try to break him forward. I pull him to the side, and I wrap low on the waist. You don't wrap high. If I wrap high, he can turn back to his knees. Come on. You can do that. His body can overpower. If I wrap low, keep my shoulder low, get it back. You just hold with fingertips. Your fingertips are what are applying the strength. He can't get back. You can ride him, waist and arm, tight waist. And you can look for back hook. And if he comes back to his base, come on back. Go ahead. You go to ankle ride. Okay? If he goes for an inside switch, let's say against an ankle ride, I stretch my leg so he can't have it. I come back to this side, and I go tight waist again. And if back hook isn't open here, I might do elbow in the back and go around his head and put him on his back going around. Okay? So we should know how to do waist ride, and we should know how to do ankle rides, and we should know how to do reach around wrist grip, high up to the wrist, things of that sort. Monday, I'll spend on rides, and maybe some ride counters. Monday's a mat day. I'll spend it on rides and ride counters. Still play. I got down, I guess you try to hit a switch run. It's not a real switch run. You go for the switch if you watch the film, but it's like you don't go for it with the real confidence and desire that's necessary to make it work. And the guy would just chop you, bring you back on. And then a little later you go for it again, but it's not with a real attitude. You got to go for it with desire. And you got to have moves off the switch. Now Rubus has a pretty nice switch, and we showed you some things you can do off the switch last week. You can dip and turn, you can change to a wizard, you can elevate. There are different things you can do off the switch. You got to make sure you know it. You're inefficient. You're inefficient. No one have your hand put down between. You're clumsy out there. You're going to see you're stumbling around, okay, out there on the mat, and you've got to get more balance up on the feet there. Put two moves together for an escape or reversal. Us yelling from the sideline, I think, perhaps inspired you and motivated you to do just that. You were going for one move, you stopped. Oh, gee, that didn't work. But you got to anticipate if the guy's any good at all, one move won't work. You got to be able to chain wrestle. You got to be able to go move to move to move. And Coach Gallo mentioned to me one day that what he did, and I agree with it, the theory of it, when he wrestled was he would start from one move, just to see what the guy's reaction would be. He'd react to that reaction, start into another move, just to see where that was going to lead to. And then he'd go after something else, and as soon as he saw his opening, boom, then he'd hit what he wanted with some vigor, some force to get the point. That's good. That's good. In other words, you start a movement, but you anticipate the possibility the other guy knows what's coming and is ready for it, so you don't go full out, because you figure, hey, I could get caught doing that. And you get ready to go to another move, see where that's going to take you. And as soon as you see your real opening for points, then you really explode and get your points. Now that takes a little bit of experience sometimes, but you got to start heading in that direction. Your opponent did a high leg over on you at the edge. I don't know what led to that, but you can watch high leg over after this. But you went out of bounds, I guess, and 12 points.
Yeah, I think it's clear.
Kids scored under Ronnie.
It was like there, and I tried to chop him down, and he was a little too low.
You just did a high low over action on it. Okay, you'll watch it down. Had to cling to the guy's chest and head at the buzzer at the end of the second period. It's kind of weird. The two of you were standing in some odd way, and you were holding on to him. He was trying to pivot his arm through, and you were just hanging on to feel like. Okay, somehow or another, you've got to figure out how you got to that position and what you should have done to prevent the need for the point. Ride heavy! Exclamation points all over the place. You watch yourself. You don't get up on the gun. You fell to your hip trying for a standing reverse cradle. You're trying to go after a standing reverse cradle, and you lost your balance and went down. Don't tilt your hips in this field. You know, try to be stable as you do things. Don't be falling to your hip. The opponent almost got you with a rollover cradle, and you finagled the reversal there, and he didn't quite get you over, and you were able to reverse him because he didn't put enough oomph into it. And I guess you caught him to catch a foot pin at that point? No? Okay. You're the guy that got hit with a stall call looking at the clock. You got a reversal or something like that. You looked up at the clock, and the referee banged him with a stall call and hit him for a point. We know what the time is roughly, but we never look at the clock. That's our basic rule. We don't play the edge. We don't try to get out of bounds. We try to stay in there and wrestle as if the area is a mile square. You don't really play the edge. We don't teach playing the edge. And you try to stay out there and wrestle to the best of your ability in that circle. And we try to know where the edge is. We try to know what the time is, but we don't look at the clock. We don't play the edge. All right, and at the end of the bout, I think you were bottom man?
No, I was top.
You were top? Somebody else won a bout last night. One of our varsity guys, I think. Bottom man. Maybe it was Chris Stein. All of our guys in the on varsity. Were you on the bottom at the end? All right, I'll put it to you this way. Where are we supposed to end the bout? Where are we supposed to be when the bout ends? On top, and where's the other guy supposed to be?
On his back.
On his back. Sean, were you on the bottom at the end? On top? I'll find the guy. I'll keep searching. I'll find the guy. Rubens? Tapio? You sure? Was it Jose?
They were way on the bottom.
Jose, they've all voted you in as the guy.
We're on top.
At the end of the bout, who's on top of whom? Oh. Yeah, Jose is a wise man. All right, this is Jose. Let's see what we got here, Jose. Jose probably could have done back duck because the guy was stretching his leg against your single. You had single, you're stretching his leg, you put them back there. You had the leg up in the air, you know how to complete. Had the leg up in the air, you know how to complete. Hey, it's my responsibility to show you things and to talk to you about things. It is not my responsibility to go over and over these things. I mean, you can grab a chair at lunchtime and practice singles on a chair. Okay? You can grab some unknowing freshman at lunchtime and work your hip throws or something like that. Okay? I mean, it's not my responsibility to go over and over these things. It's yours. Jose, you could have shot a half on a takedown. You had a single head out, you dumped the guy, and the half is wide open. You got to be ready for it. You watch the film. Opponent stood versus your tight bar and got one more. How can a guy stand against tight bar? You got to be heavy enough. You got to be heavy enough. Don't let him up to his knee. Certainly don't let him stand. You had a tight bar and the guy stood up. You do a roaring 20 switch. You watch the film, and you do switches like this. Instead of, you're going to get your arm hyperextended. Okay? Nose dive more, so you get the switch. Never got reversal one time. Opponent held your leg. In other words, you almost had a reversal on a guy, but the ref wouldn't give it to you because the guy still had to hold your leg. What are we supposed to do with our legs? Stretch them, keep them free. Don't let people grab hold. If a guy has near leg and arm, Jose, the guy had something like this. Stand up on that outside foot. Post it, and then stand up. And this is an old ride. Years ago, there was such a thing as a near leg, near arm ride. Well, it's not a good one because the guy can just post it. He can't drive. You can't drive it. He posts. And then he stands up hard, and if he's up, I'm down, I'm in trouble. He's got leverage on him because of the altitude. Okay. You're a guy that came near me there, and I said, stand up. You were looking for hand control. You were trying to do hand control on the guy in the body line. And you were trying like to do this, change up. Maybe hit a roll, maybe hit a nosedive switch. Don't stay with any one move too long. That's what Mr. Gallo's talking about. Go for hand control. Go for hand control. See if the guy's going to give it to him. If the guy's not going to give it to him, maybe do a roll or a switch. You go to your next move, your next move, your next move. Lateral drop fail. I got a note here about not tight. It wasn't tight enough. In other words, if you want a lateral drop to work, you've got to have it tight over. Can't be loose. Only Rubens can work a lateral drop with a loose grip. Rubens don't go around. You can have a loose grip. He has a hand grip over here, and he'll make lateral drops. But most of us, we have to overlook and keep that tight. That arm's got to be tight when we do the lateral drop. Okay? Now, little Bergamotto, in his bout, wrestled a guy, and I don't know if Bergamotto stood and got a neutral, and the guy started driving into him, and brother, it was time. See, whenever a guy's driving into you, not willing to give you the neutral that you just got, that's when you can step, and then go backwards and hit it. The way you would. Okay? And don't forget, when you're having it done to you in this room, keep your hand on the guy's back. Don't put your hand out to your broken wrist. Hand on the back. Okay? All right. One other thing we're going to add to our escape drills, you know, when we do our wall stands, and then we come in and we do our hand controls and our standing moves. One other thing we're going to do is if a guy ever has a body lock and he's low, he's down low, we can't cut, I can't get underneath him, I can't cut through, even if I have this off to the side, I can't cut through. We come over the top. Come over the top and get our legs back. And if that guy at this point won't give it to us, he wants to come in there and get us, that's when we can hit the ladder. Lateral drop is an exotic pancake. That's all it is. It's a standing pancake. That's all lateral drop is. We're going to do a lateral drop, and we'll do it off a whirlwind. Okay? We'll let the guy get down low. I'm doing OP201, but he's awful low. It's going to be hard to cut through because of his head being in the way. So I come over the top. My own legs go back. I don't keep him up in here. My own legs go back. He's coming into me. I'm going to hit that ladder. Block. sit back, you just fall backwards, in front. Hand on back, the man that's being in front. So we'll allow it. What else are we doing? That was placement where I brought this, right? Jose, the guy did leg tackle from the rear, Jose. He did that. What are you supposed to do? Sit and slide. You just walk your feet out, sit on them, slide off them, and get your neutral. Gotta anticipate. Gotta anticipate. Okay? You got to clear an arm for go behind, Jose. You got to clear an arm for go behind. You try to go behind him, and he raised his arm. You stop it. You got to clear that up. You got to clear that up. You got to stretch and clear that up. Okay? And it was you that was trying a reverse cradle pancake, and you got reversed here at the end. You were trying to do this, and somehow the guy broke it, came up on you, and you were very okay? All right. We'll do 3 things, then we're going to come back in and we'll finish it up with half Nelson blocks and counters. But before we do that, we're going to do these things. We're going to have the guy with a body lock. We're going to be trying for a okey-pole one. But we can't get it. We can't get it. We've tested, we know we're not going to get it. So we change to a standing roll. Then we're going to try for okey-pole one. We know we're not going to get it. We're going to change to a nosedive switch. Okay? Then we're going to do the whirl around. Legs back. He's coming forward. Hit him with the ladder. Make sure his hand's on your back before you go. Okay? And then what else are we doing? What other thing?
Sit and slide.
Sit and slide. Let's go. Sit and slide. Near side roll. You wing him. By wing him, I mean hook here like you're making a wing action on with your own arm. Okay? You raise up, turn away. Goes to your shoulder, step across. Just a simple near side roll. Knee nearest the head up, reverse Nelson crunch. So we're going to do that. The only thing you got to be careful of there is if you're wrestling a guy that uses cant and half or waist and half, and he's strong enough, when you go down, he may lift you straight up over the top. We've had guys on our own team that have done it. That's what Gene Mills did a lot of. Okay, you take cant and half, or you take waist and half, and he was strong enough that when you would come down in here, so he would lift you straight up over the top and put you on your back on the other side when you landed. Okay? So you got to be careful. All right? In other words, I go raise up, I come down, but I try not to get lifted over the top. I don't jump my hips way up in the air where he could have his lift over facilitate. Okay? I step across him, and then get knee nearest the head up. Reverse Nelson crunch. If ever you're taken down by a double leg drop, you got to know some of the times when half Nelsons come in. If ever you're taken down by a double, you double. We teach you half Nelson. So you know the guy's coming. You know he's coming. He's got to come. Be open. So you can't leave your arm up here. What you have to do is take your arm out of there and bring your elbow in. You can't get hit. So he's got to get inside my arm to get hit. So when I have my arm here, I'm vulnerable to the half. If I sense he's got me with the double, just like I tell you before the matches all the time, never to your back. Taken down, maybe, hopefully not. Be tenacious as hell against the takedown. But if he's going to get you, never to your back. I think this happened to Ray Wynn last time. Guy got him with a double, went right after the half Nelson. You got to get this elbow in. And then turn away toward your base. Work to your base and then start moving again. Okay? So we're going to give a guy a double. We're going to let him build up us off to the side. And we're going to let ourselves see that this is half Nelson sitting. Okay? Then we're going to let him take the half out and we're going to do this. And then he'll see he can't get it. And then from here I'm going to squirm toward base and give him the takedown. That's what he's got. Okay? We're also going to wing and step over. Wing and step over. Then we're going to slip a half. Let's say the man's got me on my stomach, okay, and he's straddling one leg. Straddling one leg. Now, if I sense at all that I'm vulnerable to half Nelson, I'm not going to let my legs just lie in a mat and I use them, okay, I'm going to use my legs to block. He wants to come around to one side or the other, I have a leg up, kind of blocking his movement. Or the other leg up, covering his leg, blocking his movement. I try to use my feet to keep him from coming to right angles. Because if he shoots a half Nelson right now, and he can clear, that is, he can get off to the side and come around toward the front, I'm in trouble. So what I want to do is use my feet, I want to use my feet to block him from coming to the side. Now, if he shoots a half on this side, and I want to slip that half, all I do is I keep that leg there, go ahead, start to move, and as he starts to come, I slip this leg through, and get into a bypass position. Okay? Now I've got it blocked, so he can't come off my leg. So he thinks he's got my leg hooked. I got his leg hooked. It's a question of attitude. All right? He goes for the half Nelson, but he's not able to clear. He starts to come around toward the front. All I do is slip my leg through, grab his arm, do duck under action, keep my head coming behind that arm, and get into a bypass position. Not a drag bypass position, it's a bypass position. And then you drive him toward his head until you can scissor out and get to your knees. And if you can't drive him toward his head, he's coming with high leg over action, then you move away from him, get his waist instead of his hamstring, rotate him into your lap, and you get your reversal with a crab row. Okay? So the first thing you'll do, is wing. Near side roll. The second thing you'll do is you'll let him dump with his double leg drop grip. You'll give him the half, then he'll take it out, and he'll do this, so he can't have the half. And you'll score him to base. The third thing you'll do is you'll get in this down position here. You'll use your leg to block his stepping around to the side. You'll give him a half Nelson. And then as he tries to come, you keep his leg hooked, you slip your leg through and get his upper arm, and you slip the half and come into a bypass position. And then you can either drive him to his head or change to a grab up. Fourth thing, we're going to give him the half, okay, and we're going to post the knee so he can't drop. Okay, now I don't want to turn this way. I saw Alvear, I think it was, and somebody else last night turning into the half. You want to turn into the half, you want to turn away from the half and post the knee or a foot out there so the guy can't drive you over. At least the knee. Okay, now if he's got a wrist bar, he's got a major problem here. He's got a wrist bar, I go after the fingers to take them off. And you want to look not in, you want to look away and get your head up. Try to peel his fingers. And don't let go of them. If you let go of them, and put a half in again. Peel them off, got to get forward them. Okay? Got to get forward them and hold on to them and try to get back toward base. Head up. And when you come toward your base, you don't come inside knee. You guys want to just drive into you and rotate you over. If you come to your base, you come outside knee up. Okay? Now, if I don't want a half Nelson in at all, I don't even want to have it. Elbows in, as I try to tell Dave Wang, at least the near elbow. Elbow in, head up. Elbow out, head down, half Nelson, city. Okay? Elbow in, head up, can't get the half in. Elbow out, head down, half Nelson's in. Okay? Now, if it's in, I'm going to post, knee, all right? Peel fingers as I look away and up. Look away and up and post. Peel and get back to base. All right, try some of those things against the half Nelson. Let's turn away and get my head up. I want to bring my elbow down and in, but he beat me to the punch. I'm going over. I never just go to my back and stop. In other words, as I sense it's happening, I go for arm work the other way. Okay? I try to go with it. You never fall to your back and stop. Okay? Try to go with the momentum. Try to make use of the momentum. Okay? Now, when you go outward, if he's a good wrestler, he should reverse his Nelson. When he reverses his Nelson, and you want to fight that, you have to do one or two things. You either have to dive this hand through the opening, close to your body, and rotate out, or you've got to forcefully, if your arm's up in the air, bring your arm with you. Don't try to rotate out and leave your arm back there. You're not going to rotate. Your arm doesn't come, your body's not going to rotate. You've got to forcefully bring this arm with you for all you're worth. And when you come back to your knees, we're going to be yelling to you, wrestle. You know, go after him. Catch him out in front. Don't stop wrestling. Look for something as you come off your back. You guys are being told that when you're pinning a man and you sense you're going to lose your grip, go after another grip. You should have something in mind for when you lose that first grip as to what your follow-up grip is going to be. And if you can't come up with something, go behind. But the vast majority of kids are not told that. I'll bet money. I'm not in other wrestling rooms to hear and see what's being said and shown. But I'll bet money that most places, they're not saying to the kids, when you lose your pin grip, go behind. They just let the kids wrestle. Okay? So you can catch guys out in front because they're not trained to go behind. So you've got to be alert to catch him with a leg drop, which might put him on his back. Double leg drop, put him on his back. So if I'm in a half Nelson and a guy's driving me over, okay, I'm being driven to my back, when I go with them, I'm going to dive this hand through if I can. Slip through. If I sense I can't, or if he's got that reverse Nelson in already, I bring this arm forcefully with me, like I'm making a bicep, and then I look for him. When I come out, I'm going to attack. Maybe attack to him. Go after him. Go after him. Try to make him pay for having put me on my back. Don't stop wrestling. Another thing against half Nelson. He has a half Nelson in, and he's going to put me down on my back. This is an old one, an old trick, but it works. It does work. You reach in here, and as he's driving into you to put that far shoulder down, just as it's about to go down, you go with him, and you don't try to lift him straight over the top. That takes too much. You lift his leg this way, on an angle, and then bridge a little bit, and you come up on him with him on his back. You know, you go this way, and then come up, and you've got him. And it works, and it does work. Okay? So he's got a half Nelson, and I'm able to get my hand up to the crotch. Okay, as he drives into me, I toss his leg up here toward the corner. Okay, I just go with a little bridge action to give a little bump to get him off me, and I keep my altitude and come up on him with a pin grip on him. Biggest basic, though, when you're on your back, is don't turn with your arms in the air. Don't turn like this. That's not the proper way. That might be the thing to do if he's got his reverse Nelson in and you can't slip your hand through inside. Then you come for all your worth. Rotate. Okay? But you try to dive your hand through openings. Try to dive your hand through that opening or slip the other one the other way. And squirm off your back. When I come like this, half Nelson. When I come like this, reverse Nelson. When I come like this, no half Nelson. When I come back the other way, no reverse Nelson. He doesn't have it. Does not have it. I'm pretty much out. I'm back to base. I'm ready to go into a stand-up, a roll, a switch, whatever it is. Okay? So you got to learn to slip hands through, and you got to learn to bridge. You got to learn to bridge. Sometimes it's just, you know, the guy's got you on your back. You're on your back here, and you got to get up. You just got to get up. And sometimes the altitude is what gives you some ability to move your hips. Okay? And if you can't turn one way, think about going back the other way. Don't just try to turn one way and not the other. Sometimes these guys tilt their hips, as I see you guys tilt your hips. I'm turning out, let's say I'm trying to go this way, and he tilts his hip down. And if I would just realize and come back in, I could catch him maybe. Okay? So, rotate one way then the other. I mentioned 2 weeks ago, and I'll repeat the story. When I was at Seton Hall U, we had a guy from Saddlebrook High. He was only a freshman. He was a little stud of a guy, wrestling 178. Real short, maybe about 5'7". Square, real bulky guy. Very powerful guy. And he was not a real good wrestler in terms of good offense techniques up on the feet. Not a real good wrestler. But he could do lateral drop and suplees and things like that and not have to worry. Because his best position on the mat was on his back. If he was on his back, he wasn't going to be there long. In fact, the other guy would have, within a few seconds, be on his back. He had this tremendous bridge. He had tremendous power in his frame. He went up the bridge. He just would lift guys off him and then forcefully bring them underneath him. So we as coaches, when we finally realize it, this shows pure genius as a coach. When we as coaches realized what we had here, we had ourselves a gold mine, a defensive gold mine here. The fellow was helping me up there, the current coach up there, myself, Al Reynoso. When this kid would go out to wrestle, we would yell to the opponent, half Nelson, cradle, far arm, reverse Nelson. We would get our guy out to his back. It wouldn't take too long. We'd get our guy on his left. He was almost wrong. He didn't know enough about what he was doing to prevent it. All we had to do was help the opponent get him there. And it was a guaranteed reversal, and in most cases it was a guaranteed pin, because the guy was a total bear. Once he got a guy on his back, he would just really lock it up real tight and end the bout. See? So some guys realize being on your back is just another position to be in. That's all it is. And you got to know how to get off the back, just like you know how to get out of all the positions. All right, do some things from your back there in terms of what we just went through. Let's go. Now lift with the nape, and they'll go up in here. That's nothing. It's nothing. You've got to snake your hand inside that arm. It's got to go inside. When you lift with an A, going up in here, that's a nothing grip. That doesn't stop him from rotating out. You've got to get inside that arm. You've got to snake your hand inside that arm. You've got to snake it inside. Okay? You had to bypass the guy, and when you bypassed him, we talked earlier, you didn't want to step on him. You took a guy back to Navy, which has happened several times with a lot of you guys here in the room. You force things and you lose your own back. Okay, you were probably in on a single, is how it all started. Okay, you probably got in on a single, and you wanted to take him back to Navy, and you were so determined to take him backwards. As you took him backwards, you fell, and he reached over your back and put a switch in. You see? I'm not supposed to fall. I'll take the name. Now, if the guy didn't want to go back, said it takes that much oomph to put him back, or which way should I take him? Forward and do one arm. Okay? Forward and do one arm. All right, you always try to accommodate the other guy. He wants to be taken, you just have to figure out which way it is he wants it to happen to him. Okay. No roll versus wrist bar and half. In other words, the guy must have had a half Nelson on you, but he also had a wrist bar. In Bergamoto, by the way, you had a wrist bar, but you didn't pull it under. You had the guy's wrist, but his wrist was way out. You got to get under. Okay? But I wouldn't try to wing the guy here because he's got that. I'm going to get put up on my own back. There were a few of you guys that could have done switch to roll. I think Harper's among them. I think JC is another guy. I'm on the whistle, I'm going for a switch, okay? And the guy comes into me sideways, laterally, so that I can't get my hips out this way.
I just go with him and come back and hit a roll. You watch, JC, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on your film. You'll go for a switch. You'll go out in here for a switch. You'll be trying. See, I can picture, as I make this expression myself, I can picture you looking like this, trying to go in for switches. You have the head tilted that way. I want that switch over. Switch is what I want. If I don't get switch, I'll never be a happy person. And the guy's crowding, and all you got to do is come back. All you got to do is come back and hit a far roll. So we're going to do switch to far roll. We're also going to do far roll to switch. Okay? If I roll the guy, and as I get him over here, he happens to wrap his arm around my body here, then I change off to a switch. If I do near roll, I do a near roll, and the guy happens to re-roll me, okay, I go right into a switch. So switches can come off rolls, and far roll can come off a switch. Okay? All right, you're going to do far roll, the 10. You get him over, change off to a switch. Near roll, let him re-roll you, change off to a switch. Go for a switch, let him crowd you sideways, go back and hit a far roll. It's off in here, and you could have shot that far break. Okay, it will bring you control. It would have brought you control. Okay, would have given you 2 points. You dump to the head, I believe, with your double. You should dump with our head on the double, rather than to the head. Because of the wizard, the guy can whiz you. Right, if I'm here and I dump to the head, so he can whiz me. Okay, even if I get him down on his hip, he might scoot on me and get away. But when you dump with the head, there is no wizard possibility. Okay, so you want to dump with the head. You got a day before a match, go over your leg lift completions. You had some trouble completing. You had the leg up in the air. I think there were moments where you could have stayed down, just hooked his leg and got far ankle. You know, hook, you're in on a single. Instead of going up in the air, would have just stayed down here, hook, far ankle. Get 2 points easy. I think you could have done that. He kept doing fish hook, and he stayed with his fish hook too long. Okay, you have fish hook, you have fish hook, and he kept trying to stack them or cheek tilt them. Okay, and half is really what you want. And if it won't do it, forget fish hook. Get something else. He wasted too much time with one type of pin series. He should have gotten to something else. Put down you had a poor take to Navy with too low. You tried to take him back with the Navy, but you were down too low. You got to be up a little higher on the take to Navy to make it more effective. Shrug was open, opponent was leaning. You try to head out one arm pan on the guy one time near the edge, right in front of where I was sitting. You were doing this type of thing with one arm. You want both arms, and we prefer head, not out. Okay, we prefer on pancakes to be under his face. Okay, it makes it tougher for him to do anything, and we'll get all the points we're looking for. Wrist back was open. Evidently, the guy posted his hand and had his arm straight at moments when you were riding. You could have gotten wrist back, and instead of doing fish hook, you might have been able to do Sullivan or Mills or something else. They called you for an illegal head scissors. Was it? I couldn't see it. Was it illegal?
I had something half to my leg,
Did it?
and then I was working up the scissor and called it.
Okay, you gotta make sure they're not illegal. And too many times in his bout, it seemed to me, might only happen twice, might only happen once, that'd be too many. You had the guy in jeopardy and the ref broke you. See, you were bowing his back maybe one time, you had an illegal scissors another time, you were having him up in a stack where he's gonna get his neck broken another time, and the ref was breaking him. So when you've almost got the guy, don't do anything that's going to cause the referee to break the two. You try to be smart enough not to let that happen. Too many stacks, too many fish hooks. Blew the tight bar, became potentially dangerous. That was another one. And most of you guys with your tight bars, they're not really tight. They're going to be tight. You're going to remain with constant concentration. You gotta keep your concentration, keep the thing on tight. Okay? Plate shrug open. Opponent did standing jab cut. The guy came in at you and did this. Put you down. Pretty sure that's what he did. He just came in and grabbed collar and knee, buckled it, and put you down. Made it look easy. The opponent caught you napping with double leg drops. Caught you napping with double leg drops. You're gonna watch. What do you do against a double leg drop? Well, you hope that the other guy uses one. That's what you do against double leg drop. You hope that the other guy has one. Say, hey, any of your coach teach you double leg drop? Please, try a double leg drop. And when the guy comes, you in other words, I told you, if you know the guy's a double leg drop, man, don't put your feet together. Put them wide. Get them out wide, because then he's got to get his hands out to get around your legs. And the further out he's got to go with his hands to get around your legs, then we're vulnerable to a turn. Put him right on his back. Okay? We will do a turn like this. Switch to far roll open. The guy had you in a far arm and had the thing really pulled through. Okay? You don't want him to get that far arm. And it's going for far arm. You slide your hand out along the neck. And then wing it. Okay? If he gets far arm, you got to roll your hand up through right away. You got to roll your hand up through right away. Okay? And slide it out. Don't pick it up in the air. Pick it up in the air, he pulls it through. Keep it on a mat, even if he's got a grip on it, he can't pull it through easily. Pick it up. Up. Slide it out. If he gets it, I want to roll through right away. Okay? We will counter far arm by rolling the hand up through to remind ourselves. And what's the other thing we're going to do? Turn against a double leg drop, right? All right, still plating. Don't straddle a man's legs. Like you wrestle sometimes like this. What he's going to do is go to his shoulder, lift with his foot. I'm going to lose my balance. Quick roll over. At the end of Clayton's bout, I can't get in the position he was in. I don't know exactly the position over the hip. Clayton's head was down in here somewhere. And all he had to do was step to the other side of the man's head. And the other guy would have been on his back and ain't caught. Okay? But instead of going that way, he went this way. And your head got caught under even worse. Okay? But all you had to do, I think, if you look at the bout, if you stepped around to the other side, he'd been on his back track. And you're not continuous in your competitiveness out there. You've got to get continuity. It's got to happen in here first. It's got to happen outside running. Okay? It's got to happen in the room and in the running before it's really going to happen in the real competition. So far we've got what? Turn against a double. What else? Free the arm against a. All right, this is a key to high turns. It seems on your neck. Like on your neck. You're trying to like your head's tucked too far in. It's supposed to be up on the front of your head. Okay, in front of the top of your head.
I think I was trying to grab it, but I think I caught.
Look at the other thing is you were trying for back hooks. The guy was on his stomach yet. Reach around wrist grip. The guy was on his stomach, and you're over here trying to do it. You know, it's not going to happen. And you're telling the guy you want it. The guy you want. You gotta just forget that. Okay? Just come up and straddle and get after something else, like bar or something. Okay. All right. Kid you wrestle is a pretty competitive kid, and at the end of the bout, you were in an odd position. You're going to find you're very open to half Nelsons in the film. There were a number of times that you either put them in or could have put them in. You're very open to half Nelsons. You're on your side, looking back here, where the guy could put half on the other side. You're working off your hip, okay? And you're like this. You could put half Nelsons in. I think you'll see in the film, okay? And at the end of the bout, I believe you were in a back switch type position. Yeah, this type of position. There is such a move as a back switch where I would slip my legs through. The only bad feature of it is you could double break me as I'm doing it. It's not a good move. Okay. So you have to watch the film. You're going to find you're on your hip, you're open for half Nelsons and things of that sort. All right. Before we do the turn and before we do the counter to the forearm, just let me say that we did better yesterday, I think.